I think whoever was doing the Louisiana Highway Patrol just, we were robbed. Everyone knows we were robbed. This is an outrage.
Yeah, but when the guy that was potentially should have been called for a PI comes out in the postgame and says, yeah, it was PI, but I
whacked him.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on.
Give him credit for honesty. Yeah, I whacked him. What are they going to do? Can't take it back now. I'm going to the Super Bowl. You're not.
All right, so for the third straight year, Tom Brady has Super Bowl plans as well. He'll be in Atlanta if you need him. He and the Patriots took down the Chiefs 37-31 to earn the right to head to his 9th Super Bowl, his 4th in the last 5 years. On the way, he completed his 12th career game-winning drive in the playoffs. That's the most ever. A lot of accolades cast upon Tom Brady, and he's well aware of how special the moment is.
These are memories, you know, that'll last a lifetime. And I said a few weeks ago, I'm blessed to find something that I love to do, that I love to work at. And that's probably been the biggest blessing in my life. I love, you know, working hard at trying to make improvements. And every year we start at a different place. And, you know, I love the grind of it, you know, being in the moment. And, you know, this was just an incredible win.
Chirs Canty, how does Tom Brady keep doing this year after year after year?
I don't know, Jenna. And to be frank with you, I'm done trying to figure it out. Like, he's just special, and I just want to appreciate the greatness that is Tom Brady.
While it's still
and him and that synergy that he has with Bill Belichick and what they've been able to accomplish over the 17 years that he's been the starting quarterback for that franchise. So he took over in 2001 full-time as a starting quarterback. He did have that one season, I think it was 2008, that he missed with the ACL. But, I mean, this will be his 9th Super Bowl appearance in 17 full seasons as the quarterback of the New England Patriots. So he makes the Super Bowl over half the time, half of the seasons that he's been the starting quarterback. And usually you're talking about players declining as they get older, but Tom Brady and the Patriots have been in the Super Bowl 4 of the last 5 years. This will be 3 straight. So, I mean, that's probably the most impressive part about what he's been able to accomplish. It's just his ability to get better as he's aged. Now, part of that has to do with just seeing more football. The more football that you're seeing, the more that you can recall, the more information that you know, the quicker you can identify things and understand what to do in terms of execution in that moment. And it showed late in that game yesterday with the Chiefs. I mean, not only did he engineer the drive of 65 yards with 2 minutes to go to put them in a situation where they took the lead. Of course, Pat Mahomes did come back and get them in field goal range to tie it. But once they got into overtime, being able to put together a 13-play drive and then, of course, have 3 third-down conversions that were absolutely critical in that, 2 passes to Edelman and then the pass to Gronk to set up the Burkhead touchdown. To me, that's the most impressive part about it, his ability to be able to slow everything down in that moment. And, CC, you alluded to this last Friday. You said between the 2 quarterbacks that were in this AFC Championship game, you gave the edge to Tom Brady just because he knows how he's going to feel in the moment, and he knows exactly what he needs to do in terms of being able to harness that type of energy and use it to benefit his team. That's exactly what happened in the end of that game.
And I do believe Tom Brady's had more help. Tom Brady's been great because when you play a long time in this league, in the generation of players that we have playing now, I don't know how Tom Brady copes with them day to day. That was one of the things that led me towards retirement, was that mentally I was not challenged on a daily basis. The players became a lot younger than I wanted to be around. The stories that they were telling, the things they were involved in, how they were not taking care of their body, where they were hanging out. All those things became a reason for me to find another profession. Tom Brady somehow has tricked himself. Somehow that right there has not affected him. He's got a reservoir of information. So him going into situation, he's far more comfortable because he's been in most to every situation and a number of times. As far as his body, getting his body to fire like this at this age is totally incredible, that his body's responding. And people would say, well, his arm. Well, the thing that goes on quarterbacks, if it's not their arms, it's their legs. So Tom Brady to be in the type of physical shape, because I would find it hard to find a starting quarterback in the NFL who is a worse athlete than Tom Brady. And at this advanced age, for him to be able to get beyond his lack of athleticism in a physical sport. And the last thing that's most impressive is the Belichick, the tree, the support he has around him. Offensive line, offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniel. He's been there with Belichick 15 of the 19 seasons. He comes up with Canty 8 plays. The morning of the game, they're going over these plays. Gronk running that slant was not in the game plan. They hadn't rehearsed that play. They utilized 5 of these 8 plays, all for positive gains so that reservoir of information. The offensive line, they were the MVP of this game. They dominated Kansas City. They took the fight to Kansas City, not with a bunch of superstar names, a rookie left tackle, Dante Scarnecchia. He's been there 17 years of this Brady run there with Belichick. So their ability to be able to function at a high level, going back on years and years of information that they will regurgitate if they need it for this game, that's what I see with Tom Brady. And I think we should just appreciate those things. But the body being in this shape and his mental mind staying engaged with these young players, these millennials that he's playing with now, those things are impressive beyond my imagination.
Listen, the depth and breadth of Brady's career is unprecedented, and you can get in trouble saying stuff like this, but I would predict we will never see something like this in this sport ever again. To go to 2 Super Bowls, 18 years apart the way he is. I mean, the Rams have been in 2 cities and had nearly 20 combined coaches and quarterbacks since they were playing Brady and Belichick. Same thing. So I give Brady, he's the greatest quarterback ever, and if there's such a thing as the greatest football player ever, he is near, if not at the top of that discussion. But yesterday's game was not about Tom Brady's greatness. In no way, shape, or form. Of all the teams that played yesterday, no quarterback got more than 45 yards from a running back, except for Brady, who got 113 from his top running back. Of all the games played yesterday, no quarterback had their defense sack the opposing quarterback more than twice, except for Brady, who his defense pressured Mahomes 45% of the time. They got 4 sacks. In all the games yesterday, no quarterback turned the ball over more than once, except for Brady, who turned it over twice, once in the end zone. And of all the games yesterday, no quarterback that won had the game lost because of a missed throw by him. And then it's wiped away because D Ford can't line up. D Ford does what our great producer Jamila told us before the show. They teach him, Pop Warner, line up on sides. The football game is over. And if the football game is over there, can we just show America what the greatest quarterback ever, and that's what Tom Brady is, what he would have done last night? That's 1 touchdown, 3 picks, all 3 on him. 1 in the red zone, 1 to lose the game, 260 yards passing.
The Edelman one would have been on him?
I thought so.
Yeah, he let him. I thought it's a zone. You got to put that ball on him.
Okay, so even if that one's questionable, I thought it was.
Was he supposed to catch it?
This one, there's no question.
No, that's on him.
And
no question.
The Gronk play, I mean, yeah, that play right there is close call, and the Gronk play, there's no question about it. So, listen. The Super Bowl win against Atlanta, right? The last time the Pats were in overtime. I give Brady 98% of the credit for that game. Like, the defense couldn't stop them. They were down 28-3. You saw them rallying guys on the sideline. They made play after play after play. He was, from the moment they were down 28-3 on, basically perfect. In this football game, for 59 minutes, he was nearly the weak link for the Patriots. And then the moment that offsides call was made, he completes a 25-yard pass on 3rd and 5, and in overtime. 4 completions, all for first downs, 3 on 3rd and 10. Like, he was, the moment they didn't cut his head off, Michael Myers style, he sat up and he killed him. And I give him all the credit in the world for that. But we got to be honest about what happened yesterday.
But of the 4 starting quarterbacks that played yesterday, if one of them won the coin toss in overtime, you needed one guy to take you down the field that you were sure of all 4, would you not pick Tom Brady?
No, you absolutely would pick Tom Brady, and I understand Nick's argument talking about the supporting cast and the job that they did yesterday, but I don't think we can dismiss the quarterback play from Tom Brady, even though he did have a couple of mistakes in that game. I mean, outside of that interception that he threw to Reggie Ragland, they've scored every trip they had into the red zone. So, I mean, that's a situation where you're looking at that efficiency. You look at how great he was on 3rd downs. Their overall ability to be able to extend drives and control time of possession was in part due to the execution at the quarterback position. So a part of the game plan and playing keep away from Pat Mahomes and that Kansas City Chiefs offense had to be your quarterback being able to execute the offense and sustain drives. And Tom Brady did a great job of that. I mean, arguably a better job than any other quarterback that we saw yesterday. And ultimately, that's why they were able to overcome a -2 turnover deficit. It's because they were able to sustain drives and control time of possession. They had the ball for 40-plus minutes. So, I mean, when you look at that and you say, okay, they held the ball and they limited the Chiefs' opportunities to touch the ball and to score points, you have to credit Tom Brady in that game.
New England was great. The team early. Tom Brady was brilliant late. That's the story of what happened yesterday in Kansas City.
All right. Got to take a break. Chris, stick around. Coming up, did the referees cost